with. Last night also the NBA season got full impact for some Kentucky players as John Wall put down a performance that was unlike anything we've seen this year. He grabbed the spotlight early, however, by dancing the Dougie during his introduction. Take a look. That's actually how I come into the show every night, Perrin. But when you watch the game last night, Wall had 29 points, 13 assists, 9 steals, nearly a triple-double the way nobody gets a triple-double with steals. The 9 steals, a Wizards franchise record, and he now has 31 assists in his first 3 games, an NBA rookie record. How about the start of the performance for John Wall?
He's doing a great job right now. I mean, 29 points, 13 assists?
13 assists,
13 assists, 9 steals. I mean, that's, for a rookie, that's unbelievable, especially a rookie point guard to grasp that fast. Flip Saunders referred to him as the fastest player in the NBA.
I think that's true.
As a rookie, that's unreal. And he can't shoot the ball.
Wait a minute, he can't shoot the ball.
He's a bigger, more athletic Rajon Rondo, practically.
He's a little better shooter than Rajon.
Yeah, he is. But, I mean, you know, we're just seeing a little bit of tip of the iceberg of what he's capable of.
I mean, what's his upside? I mean, the thing people okay, there's a lot of good point guards in the league right now. It's a good time for point guards. You got Rondo, you got Chris Paul, Deron Williams, Steve Nash, Derrick Rose. Yes. Those are considered to be the 5 best. How long, or is it now, that John Wall's in that group?
Well, I mean, I think as the season goes on, it depends. Like if he hits that rookie wall, will he start to fade away?
Wall. I see you doing a little play on words.
You know, after 40 games, a lot of people hit that wall. So we're going to see what's going to happen if John Wall can hold up and live up to the expectations in his name.
Colin Cowherd of ESPN, in sort of a breaking story today, blasted John Wall on the radio for that dance. He said John Wall's a selfish guy. You can see it. He's like Allen Iverson or Steve Francis. It's before the game and he dances instead of getting his teams ready. Now, I think, Perrin, that's a ridiculous statement. If anybody's around John Wall, his teammates love him, from starters to bench warmers, coaches love him. Anything wrong with that dance, or is it Colin Cowherd just an old man jabbering?
He's just an old man jabbering, I feel, because at the same time, you look at it, Tim Duncan, probably the best power forward possibly in NBA history. Love Tim Duncan's game. He's a very capable and productive scorer, but he doesn't have any emotion.
None.
And the NBA is all about entertainment. With that being said, I mean, I don't think that's nothing wrong. That's showmanship. So, I mean, it adds to the game, it adds flair, and it sells tickets and puts people in the arena.
Wall said after the game, he was asked, like, why did you do the dance? And he said that some people came up to him and said the Wizards crowd is a soft crowd. They don't yell a lot. I used to be a Wizards season ticket holder. They're right. He was hoping to get the crowd into it, to get them excited for the game to start. I don't see any problem, but it just goes to show you people can have no knowledge of a person and completely go nuts with it.
If you have 29, 13, and 9 again, then you should go ahead and do
the
dance
won the game
every night.
Exactly. They won the game, too. Final topic tonight, Perrin, I'm sure will be interested in. The Big East is considering expanding for football, and then it will have a secondary impact on basketball. Right now, there are 8 schools playing football in the Big East: Louisville, Cincinnati, Connecticut, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, Syracuse, South Florida, and West Virginia. And now the league is considering adding 2 more teams to get to 10 in a hope to keep their BCS Bowl. The 2 teams, Perrin, that people are considering, the names you hear the most, TCU and Memphis. First, talk about it from a football standpoint. TCU probably would win the Big East this year if they were in it. Memphis is awful when it comes to football, maybe the worst team in the country outside of just a handful. What do you think about adding those 2 teams to the roster for football?
It'd be good for TCU. I mean, other than that, I don't really see it helping us at all. Memphis they'd be the new doormat team for the Big East. TCU they're playing great football right now. They just don't play against anybody. Same with Boise State. I can't really give them credit until they play against anybody, like the SEC.
Well, they're not going to play against anybody if they play in the Big East. Those teams are all terrible as well. We're not going to learn anything about them.
That's like saying Kentucky's going to win the SEC.
Well, Kentucky's not going to win the SEC, but I'm just saying TCU's not going to get any. I mean, when they go on the road to play Rutgers, we're not going to learn anything about them. But does it help the Big East to have a football power and maybe most importantly to get in the state of Texas for recruiting?
Absolutely. And you would play in the biggest media market in the country. You're in New York, New Jersey, Philly.
And now at Dallas.
And now at Dallas. I mean, you would have the whole country covered and you'll be on TV pretty much every night on ESPN or some major network. So I think it would be a good thing for them.
All right, but now if you don't make a decision like that in the vacuum, if you add TCU and Memphis for football, you got to add them for basketball. Now for basketball, Memphis is a huge advantage. TCU not so much, but the league then goes pairing from 16 to 18 teams playing basketball in the Big East. At some point, I mean, the conference is just going to explode. Am I right?
I mean, it's going to be very difficult, but the great thing about the Big East, like the SEC in football, it's a war every night. And a lot of times I think we should get rid of a couple teams in the Big East.
Well, they probably wish, if they had known they could have gotten TCU and Memphis, I bet you DePaul and Marquette, they might like to just kind of nudge off to the side. I think TCU and Memphis probably would bring them more benefit than those two schools. Would you agree?
Marquette and DePaul football are undefeated. They've never lost a game.
That's exactly right. Look at you knowing your history of schools that don't play. When you were in the Big East, you like that as a conference for Louisville? Is that where they should be?
Absolutely. I mean, Louisville in the Big East, I think that's an automatic fit. And a lot of kids from New York, I think they love to go back home and come back. So, I mean, it'd be perfect for them.
All right, don't go anywhere, because coming up, our Wildcat wannabe Drew Franklin spoke with some fans during the exhibition game against Pikeville and asked the very important question: do they know who I am? Find out after this check of the forecast on CN2. Welcome back to Kentucky Sports Network. Sorry, let's go. It's Kentucky. That's not the name of it. It's Kentucky Sports TV, right? What do Osama bin Laden, Rick Pitino, and myself have in common? Hopefully not much, but the three of us served as guinea pigs during a recent and very unscientific poll. KSTV's Drew Franklin explains. There's lots more to come on Kentucky Sports TV. Straight ahead, former U of L football player Kedrick Davis offers his own unique perspective on UK and U of L football. That's right after the break. But first, here's a check of your weather on CN2.
Hey, man. It's been
Welcome back to Kentucky Sports Television. UK fans may think they're the only authority when it comes to talking about college sports, but former U of L football player Kedrick Davis has joined us, and he always has a different opinion. Kedrick, how are you doing?
doing all right. How you doing today?
Yeah, doing well. Okay, we're going to start by talking about your beloved Cardinals. They come in after losing on the road 20-3 to Pittsburgh last week. You watched the game. How'd you think they did on the road field at Heinz Field?
Well, I was a little bit disgusted in the a little bit going into the coaching, the assistants, that is. We, in the first couple of series, ran about 8 flare passes to the side and a few bubble screens, and I was kind of wondering, why would we keep doing that?
That's Joker Phillips play calling right there.
Exactly.
Pittsburgh's probably the best team in the Big East. I mean, they were at home. You can't have expected you were going to win that game, but you might have expected you to score more than 3 points.
Well, if we wouldn't run Wildcat in certain packages, I think we had a good shot. But we did get beat.
Talk to me about where the team is right now. Charlie Strong era, first year, added a lot of excitement. The team looks better on the field, 4-4 right at this point. Are you, as a fan / analyst, pleased with where the program is right now, or are there some things that bother you?
There are a few things that bother me. I actually, as a former player, I would like to see the actual assistant coaches meet up and analyze each conference game so that they can make corrections to make it better for the next game. I'm not seeing that. Ever since the Cincinnati game, that was a game we should have won. And now looking at the Pittsburgh game, I'm not seeing any progress. But I do see that we could potentially make a bowl game if things go well.
Well, let's talk about that. You got Rutgers, Syracuse, South Florida, and who am I missing? Rutgers, Syracuse, South Florida, and somebody else.
West Virginia.
West Virginia that are left before the season. You got to win 2 of those to get to a bowl game. Syracuse playing very well, but beatable. West Virginia lost at home to Syracuse. I mean, any of those games could win them all, could lose them all. What do you think is going to happen?
I believe that if the defense continues to play how they are playing, they will beat West Virginia. Syracuse, that could be a challenge, but they could win that one too.
Well, they could win any of them, but what I asked you, you're the expert, Kedrick. What are they going to do?
Well, hopefully, if we continue to run the spread offense like we could, like we should have done against UK, I believe that U of L can pull out 2 more wins or at least win out the season.
Well, if they win 6, there's a chance they might see Kentucky in the Birmingham Bowl. How would you like that as a repeat?
I would love that, Matt, because first of all, we can beat UK.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Forget it, Kedrick.
We lost by, what, a touchdown?
Yeah, but it was a 3-touchdown game. We wanted to keep you all in it just for confidence. Joker and Charlie are buddies.
They are buddies, but on the field, it's all about war.
That's right. Talk to me real quick before we let you go about Kentucky. They're 4-5, have lost 3 games that they easily could have won with Auburn, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State. They got Charleston Southern this week. Let's assume they win that one. Vandy and Tennessee to finish the year. What do you see how that playing out? You know,
UK is a tough team. I like actually watching them. Going through the SEC is very hard, but I can see them actually pulling out a win versus Tennessee and Vandy. I mean, you know, going through what they've gone through so far with the conference, it makes them stronger. So in the end, they could pull it off.
All right, say they go 7-5. Right now, the projections would have them in the Music City Bowl playing the U, playing against Miami in Nashville. You like the Cats versus Randy Shannon and the U in Nashville?
I could tell you this, that'll be an exciting game. I would love to see it. The U brings in a big crowd, and now the Music City Bowl, I think UK is used to playing in that game, and it'll be a great game.
All right, well, Kedrick Davis, thank you very much for joining us. Cats fans can expect to spend a lot of time on the couch this weekend. Friday night, the Wildcats play their final exhibition game as they take on the Dillard Blue Devils at Rupp Arena. Check your local listings for that game. And then on Saturday, it's make or break time for the Cats as they host Charleston Southern at 12:30 at Commonwealth Stadium. You can check your listings where to see that game. Just don't write me and ask me where it is. Just look it up. We'll be back in just a second. This is Kentucky Sports TV.